Hi, I'm Esther, and today I have a sequel to the last story I made, The Curse of the Mismatched Socks. I want to warn you that some things in this story may be concerning for younger viewers as, spoiler alert, some characters get eaten by a giant gingerbread man. They come out fine in the end, but I just wanted to let you know. Now, with that out of the way, let's get on with the story. The Curse of the Mismatched Socks, Part 2, The Rise of Shteve. Once upon a time, in a small town in the middle of somewhere, in an adequately sized house to fit the large family that lived in it, me and Mary Lou were making gingerbread cookies early in the morning since our mom had a craving and we needed to use up some of the ingredients anyway. As I was mixing my batch, I accidentally put in too much baking powder, and when Mary Lou scolded me for it, I just said that I wanted my cookies to be extra fluffy. Suddenly, we heard the rumble of thunder as the ground shook and the sky turned gray. Just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. Mary Lou and I gave each other a horrified glance. As long as it's not in our house, we'll be safe, Mary Lou assured me. Just then, Eric stumbled blearily down the stairs, wearing a pair of mismatched socks. He had put them on in the dark without knowing. As soon as we realized, he pulled them off, but it was already too late. We heard a rumbling from inside the oven, and suddenly an angry gingerbread man burst out, growling in a high-pitched voice. Something. It chased after us, but we all climbed onto the countertop, out of its reach. I dubbed it Shteve, as it was my creation. Are you serious? Mary Lou glared at me. I'm his mama. I can name him whatever I want, I declared loftily. Shteve immediately set to work, building an army of gingerbread cookies, using the batter we had knocked onto the floor in our rush to escape its wrath. There was nothing me and my siblings could do but watch in terrified silence as millions of cookies popped out of the oven, marched outside, and molded together to create one giant gingerbread man. I think your son is evil, Eric said. Shteven, I breathed in shock and awed, staring up at the 50-foot gingerbread man. Mary Lou slapped me in the head. Ow! I yelped, putting my hand on the spot. Pull yourself together, Mary Lou snapped. We've got to stop him. I know, but how? I asked, whining a little bit. I could try eating him, Eric said. Mary Lou and I looked at each other and nodded in unison. So, Eric hopped down from the counter and chased after Shtevin, gnawing noisily on its giant gingerbread man foot. Shtevin looked down at the damage Eric was causing, bent over, picked him up with one hand, and popped him in its mouth. Mary Lou and I screamed. What we didn't know was that Shtevin had no stomach, so Eric fell right through the giant gingerbread body and into the same foot he was nibbling on just seconds ago. There was literal jam in the toes that cushioned his fall, which Eric immediately started eating through. Don't ask me why, he's a hungry little boy. Shtevin continued on its rampage through the small town, so naturally the fire department and police force showed up to stop it. Their bullets had no effect, but one of the firefighters had the brilliant idea to use his hose and sprayed Shtevin with it, nearly blowing off its arm before it crushed the fire truck. Thankfully, no one was injured. Thanks to that incident, Mary Lou and I realized that the only way to stop Shtevin was to douse it in sky juice, which is the word for water in my world. So Mary Lou and I mounted our bikes and rode as fast as we could to the sky juice place, what you might call a lake. We rode as fast as we could, but Shtevin overtook Mary Lou, flipped her bike into the air, and ate her. I screamed in horror. Don't worry, she joined Eric safely in its foot. I had finally had enough and stood heroically on a picnic table to confront Shtevin. That's enough, Shtevin. I am your mother. I brought you into this world, and I can take you out of it if you don't cease this madness at once, I screamed. Shtevin only roared at me and attempted to grab me, but I ducked under its hand and rolled out of the way. So be it, I whispered, and charged into the sky juice place screaming, For Eric! And for Mary Lou! I jumped into the sky juice and waded as far as I could. Without thinking, Shteve chased after me, determined to catch me, but unintentionally splashing me further away from it with every step. Wave after wave rolled over me as I tried to stay afloat. Shteve chased me deeper and deeper into the sky juice, becoming soggier and soggier until it tripped and fell face first into the sky juice, creating a huge wave of sky juice with soggy bits of gingerbread floating in it that washed over me and forced me under. As I sank, I could see Shteve breaking apart until it was dissolved completely and peacefully closed my eyes. I had won, but at what cost? I had already accepted my fate when a hand grasped my collar and pulled me to the surface. "There you are," Eric said, smiling. "I was wondering where you went." I looked up to see Mary Lou's disapproving face. "Did you forget you can swim?" she asked, setting me down on the beach at the far side of the Sky Juice place. I laughed sheepishly and flopped down on the sand beside Eric without answering. "Don't get too comfortable. We still gotta swim back," Mary Lou said. Eric and I groaned. Later, we were both seated on Mary Lou's back as she paddled diligently across the sky juice like the diligent super soldier that she is. When we finally got home, we all sat down on the couch with a sigh. Gemma, who usually sleeps in past 10, came down the stairs, yawning, and froze when she saw us covered in sky juice and soggy gingerbread. "What did I miss?" she asked. Mary Lou glared and threw a pillow at her head, telling her to be silent in her own special merry way. Later that night, on the far shore of the Sky Juice place, a single soggy gingerbread man crawled out of the sky juice and flopped onto the sand. Slowly, it turned over to bare its fangs menacingly at the sky. The end. Okay, so that was part 2. I don't mean to be a bother, but I want to grow my channel, so if you don't mind, please like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another story on Saturday. Until next time, bye!